Amid strained communication lines between Washington and Beijing, Chinese President Xi Jinping welcoming former U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger to China. Xi noted that Kissinger, who turned 100 in May, has visited China more than 100 times since the 1970s.
The relations between our two countries would be central to the peace in the world.
U.S. climate envoy John Kerry also in Beijing, restoring dialogue on environmental issues after China suspended those talks last August in response to then Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan.
We all hope nothing will get in the way of our ability to deal with the climate crisis, because as I said previously, it doesn't wait for these things.
And U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, who visited China last week, now in Vietnam talking about the U.S. approach.
We are actively trying to promote greater resilience in our supply chains, and that doesn't mean doing everything ourselves, and it doesn't mean, in our case, ending our, in any way, trading relations with China. But we do want to partner with more countries.
China's ambassador to the U.S. telling the Aspen Security Forum Wednesday his country is not seeking conflict with the United States.
China is opposed to any kind of trade war, technological war under the pretext of competition. China do not shy away from competition, but the definition of competition by the U.S. side, I think is not fair.
But the White House telling VOA Thursday military-to-military communication remains closed.
You want to be able to pick up the phone and talk to your opposite and try to take the tensions down and to avoid miscalculation. When you have that kind of military hardware sailing so close together, flying so close together, the potential for miscalculation and risk only shoot up if you can't talk to one another.
U.S. lawmakers heard warnings earlier this week from top energy officials that China posed a serious threat to the energy grid and cybersecurity, drawing a rebuke from the Chinese Foreign Ministry.
The U.S. should not make unfounded accusations or smear other countries for political purposes, but should stop cyber attacks on others and strengthen international cooperation to earnestly safeguard cybersecurity.
The U.S. Senate began debate this week on the massive annual defense bill that contains several China-related provisions.
These investments strengthen our warfighting advantages, exploit adversary vulnerabilities, and address critical operational challenges in the Indo-Pacific. They provide capabilities that will serve to strengthen our combat-credible deterrent by ensuring we can prevail in conflict.
China expected to be a top issue next week when Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin traveled to the Indo-Pacific region. Katherine Gypson, VOA News, Washington.